Hey everyone, this is Neil with Wasted Paper here, bringing you another fountain pen review. If you saw my community post, you knew I was getting this pen. This is from the brand Gioia. This is a collaboration release with the Paper Mine, which is Blake's broadcast actual website. I really want to do this name justice, so I'm going to try to pronounce it. It looks like it's pronounced Media Vita. I hope that's correct, and if it is, thank God.
It was okay.
Starting out with the box, you have this sleeve on here that's pretty much just brown cardboard, nothing too crazy. It does tell you on the side here what the pen is, and then it looks like he maybe wrote in here what nib size I got. Underneath that, you got another black box here. This reminds me a lot of that Omas box that I borrowed from him before. It's very similar in the look and aesthetic. Here's your pen, and then underneath that, we also have a international warranty card. I'm really unfamiliar with this brand as a whole, so this is my first time looking at them in general, and I'm gonna call it out right away. I'm pretty happy with how this looks, especially at the price point, which I'll talk about later. I'm pretty surprised with how nice overall this looks and is. The finials I'm gonna call out right away. The bottom one here actually feels slightly sharper than the top one. Not in a stab you or cut you kind of way, but I'm noticing that it's just a little bit more fine than the top one up here. Going down from that finial though, you really have a unique looking clip here. I've never seen a clip like this. It's like multi-faceted and like really angular. You have these top ones up here and you have these two in the center, and it's just a unique shape. As far as getting underneath it, I mean, it actuates fine. It's not the easiest to get underneath, but I mean, I don't really have any issue once you get under there. It's pretty simple, pretty easy, and flexible. Continuing on, you have two cap rings right here. It looks like there's more of this red material right between it. That looks super clean. I have to imagine that's not the easiest thing to do as well. I don't know all the work that goes into the craftsmanship to make something like this, but it's a nice little touch to have something different and a nice little pop of color. Looks like you have an ink window that's completely exposed right here with a nice trim ring in the center. And then all the way at the end, you have one more trim ring. I don't know if, okay, so this is a piston also. Wow. For this price point, I'm actually like really surprised to see that. The pen uncaps in 1 and 1/4 rotation. On the inside, it looks like we have resin threads here, and there is a liner. It's really deep in there. It's a little hard to see. There's a bit of texture on the cap material right there. I don't really know why or if there's a reason for that. Maybe it's just not polished, but it's a little hard to show you. There is a plastic liner on the, oh, there you go. You can barely see it. There is a plastic liner on the inside of here. When it comes to your nib, you do have a unique nib from them. It doesn't look like it's actually laser engraved. It does look stamped in here. It's very clean if this was laser, but I'm pretty sure that's stamped, which is nice. It costs a little bit more, I believe, to do that, so it's nice to see it. It has a unique kind of filigree at the top here. That's their logo right there. It says Gioia, and then underneath that it says Italia, and then you kind of have like a sun on the bottom of here with F in the center for the nib size. And lastly, it is paired with a plastic feed. Let's talk about this grip section. So where the ink window is to start, it's very smoothed on the side of here. You have a pretty straight piece right here, and then you have your threads, which those have no real feeling at all. You're gonna just glide over these. But this grip is a full length grip. I think this is gonna accommodate pretty much all hands. I would be shocked if you were like, wow, this is not big enough.
Excuse me?
And at the end, there is a flare out to keep you from falling onto your nib. For those curious if the pen posts, it does post and it posts extremely securely. This isn't going anywhere. As far as the weight distribution, I don't mind it. I'll have to see once it's inked up because that'll help give me more of a center of balance here. I will say, I don't think you'll ever run into this because you'd have to somehow spin this in your hand like, I don't know, 5 or 7 times or something. But you can spin the piston with the cap on there. I really don't think it's anything you have to worry about, but it's something to know. The ink I'm going to be using for this pen is called Grigio Rocchia. I'm probably butchering all these Italian names really badly, but this is a gray ink, and I think it'll look really well with the gray of this body. I think you could get away with a red, or really a few colors would work with this even, but I want to go with gray, and this is the one we're going to be using. I do want to call out and say this is a very smooth piston. It's not like it's just gliding. It's got resistance, but in a nice way where it just feels like it's got really nice mechanism in there. This feels plenty nice to rotate and twist. The paper we're going to be using for this sample is my B7 Tranex softcover notebook. This is from the Paper Mine, which is also Blake's website. I am really happy with this. This notebook is a bit on the premium side. You're looking at about $34 if you want to pick one up, but I will have links below if you want to check out this paper. I'm going to call out my ink choice really quick. Look at this. Tell me I didn't nail that. Come on.
It's close.
I think I really like this though. For a steel nib, you're getting what I would expect to be actually a good steel nib. The middle ground for steel nibs, I kind of put like Conklin and Jaffa brands there. And then like lower end, I'm not going to put anyone on blast, but I would say this is just better than those. It's a lot closer to like the Leonardo's steel nib. I would say that's a pretty good comparison. When it comes to the writing sample, I would say the fine writes a little bit more bold than a traditional fine. This is closer to a medium, or at least what I'm used to seeing with a medium. Even with that bolder size, though, there's really no issue when it comes to writing. This thing writes very wet, I noticed right away, too, which is something I like when I use a fine nib. I want it to still have the ink flow to be adequate enough that I'm not feeling like it's, running dry or looking poor. There is about zero flex on here, though. So if you're buying a steel nib at this price point for flex, you're going to be let down. But I really don't think that's what you're buying this for. You buy Italian pens for their look, their craftsmanship, and it's not so much the flex, at least not on the more entry level price point models. Overall, though, for my first time trying out the Gioia brand, I'm pretty happy with how this wrote and how it performed here. For the size comparison, I'm using my bad boys again. We got a Lamy Safari and a Pilot Custom 823. I think I actually forgot to name the model of this Gioia pen. This is called the Metis. The special edition and all the other stuff I named is specifically for this collaboration, but the model of this is called the Metis. With all of these side by side, though, the Matisse is the longest one here, and by a pretty big margin. This is a rather long pen. I think the overall width of it doesn't make it feel like a weird length or anything like that, but this is a pretty sizable length pen. Uncapped now, it still retains that long form factor compared to the rest of these. It's still the longest, and by again, a pretty big margin. Having it side by side, though, you can really see what I was talking about with that grip. You're almost double the length of the Pilot Custom 823 grip. I mean, look at that. And that's a really good thing. It's going to accommodate many people's hand sizes to have a grip that long. Especially if you want to write further back or further forward, you have a lot of flexibility with this pen. I couldn't even line these up properly like I like to. The Matisse Post-it is a really long pen. Now, you can do it, you can get away with it, and you might even look and be a little flashy and kind of stand out if you write like this. But I think it's a pen that for me, it just is better unposted. It does it just fine. Even the weight with the ink in it, I think actually still lets it write fairly well like this. I don't think you'd have any issue. It's just such a long pen posted. I don't think that's the way to go. And then if it's not obviously clear, it's by far the biggest one here once it's posted. And now onto the price. Since this is a collaboration, it does have a little bit more of a premium cost, but I would still put this in the really affordable range for an Italian pen. You're looking at $139, which to me is a really great price for this. I mean, you're spending way more to look at other pens in the Italian range, like the Radius or Momento Zero, just to name a few. It is only available on the Paperminds website because it is a collaboration between the two brands. It is offered in one additional trim besides the silver that I have, though. You can get this in gold as well. For the nib sizes, it's available in extra fine, fine, medium, broad, 1.1 stub, and 1.5 stub. I am going to include a little excerpt on the screen here. This is about what the naming scheme is about, what the theme of the overall collaboration is. I think if you're interested in the Gioia brand at all, this is probably where I would start. I mean, this is where I started with them. I think for me, this is a really good entry level into Italian pens, though. It's a large pen. It is very long, and the grip is great. I think it's going to accommodate pretty much everybody. The overall width of it's really nice. It looks like it has a really slim and like kind of sleek design, but it doesn't feel that way. It feels like it fits my hand just fine. The last detail I do want to call out, this is limited to only 30 pens. So hopefully by the time this video comes live, if you want one, you can still get one. Overall, I don't believe I have any complaints here. It's got a nice theme to it. It's a really good collaboration. I love the pop of red. I think this silver just looks amazing. I guess if I had to be super nitpicky, there's some spots. Let me try to find one for you. Right, like there. You see those little dots? I don't know if those are imperfections on the resin or what exactly that is. I believe sometimes that's like air bubbles that weren't fully like extruded out of the material. I could be wrong. Maybe that's intentional. I don't know. But that would probably be the only like complaint I have. You don't feel anything. It's definitely clear, coated, and smoothed and polished. You don't feel it. I just mean look wise. But realistically, I don't have much else to say about this that's negative. All that being said, I'll have links in the description down below if you want to get one for yourself. Hopefully they're not sold out by then. And if you like this kind of content, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and thank you for watching.